Despite what you may have heard, I am here to tell you today that you should mix with headphones. Because you're here right now watching one of my videos, I'm going to assume that you've heard over and over again that you should never mix with headphones, and that's just not true. You absolutely can mix with headphones. In fact, more and more companies are developing headphones designed specifically to be used for mixing. So why all the negativity? Well, all headphones are not created equally. The frequency response from one pair to the next can be like night and day and can lead to a lot of inaccurate, inconsistent mixes. For example, if the headphones you're mixing on are lacking in low end, you're going to add too much because you want it to sound nice and full. But when you play it back on a full range system, you're going to hear all that extra bass that you pumped in taking over the entire mix. The opposite is true too. Consumer headphones tend to add a bit more bass to the headphones so they sound good when you're listening to them, but if we use them for mixing, we're going to perceive more low end than there actually is and probably not add enough to our mix. This is the theory behind why it's important to mix flat, and usually we hear this when talking about speakers. You want a flat frequency response so that your speakers aren't adding anything to the mix, and that way your mix has the potential to sound good on any system that's played on. When dealing with speakers, there's a lot that goes into making them flat, and the speakers are only half the battle. The room you're in plays an equal or larger role into what you're actually hearing. It could take flat speakers and skew the sound so you get these weird pockets and resonances and make you hear things that aren't really there. To get your speakers sounding right in your room can cost thousands of dollars before you even consider the cost of the speakers themselves. And this is one of the major reasons I think mixing on headphones is such a good idea. Headphones take the room out of the equation completely. And not only that, they're consistent in every room or plane or car or sitting on the beach or in a cafe. Wherever you feel like mixing, your headphones are going to sound the same. Now more than ever, we rely on being mobile. Laptops are just as powerful as desktops, which let us take our music and our creativity anywhere we can find it. Now, if you've spent years listening to music in the sweet spot between your speakers and your control room, your ears are going to be so fine-tuned to the way things sound right there in that little spot. You don't even have to leave the room, just shift your head a little bit in either direction and your mix is going to sound different. So I mentioned earlier that not all headphones are created equal. So what are some things we look for when picking out a good pair of headphones to mix on? You want to set with some good drivers capable of producing accurate bass and as close to a flat frequency response as possible. Open back headphones don't have an enclosed ear cup. There's usually some kind of a mesh that allows the sound to escape, and this is so that the bass doesn't build up within the ear cup itself. These sound really nice, but if you're listening kind of loud, your neighbors are going to hear them. So maybe not ideal if you plan on mixing in a cafe or on a train next to a bunch of people. My favorite pair of open back headphones are the Sennheiser HD 650s, and these definitely come with a bit of a price tag, but if these fit your budget, I highly recommend it. The more affordable option is the Technica ATH M50X. These sound really great and the bass extends really deep, which lets us hear what's going on in the subs. And that's exactly what we want to get out of mixing with headphones. Deep, accurate bass that is unaffected by the room we're in. I also just want to point out that I'm not sponsored by either of these brands. They're just the ones that I like and use every day. So if you want to take your headphone mixing to the next level, Sonarworks is going to be your secret weapon. The people at Sonarworks have done something amazing where they analyzed the EQ curves of hundreds of different headphones and created profiles for each of them. So you pull open the plugin, select your headphones, and it will apply an inverse high-quality EQ curve, basically making your headphones as flat as possible. Pair that with a set of headphones that are nearly flat to begin with, and you've got an incredibly powerful, accurate, consistent mixing rig that you can take anywhere you go. So, should you never mix on speakers? No, of course not. Are headphones the secret that only I've thought about? Also no. Speakers are fun. They move the air that we're sitting in and make us feel the sound that we're listening to. Headphones definitely can't do that, and if yours can, you're listening way too loud. The key is to learn what a good mix sounds like on a good pair of reference headphones. If you know what a mix is supposed to sound like on these headphones, then you know what to shoot for when you're mixing your own music. I've got a whole video on reference tracks and how you can use them to do exactly that. So I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video, and if you've made it this far, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.